All right, everybody, we're ready for game 2 of Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak. Game number 2 was played on May 16th, 1941 against the Chicago White Sox. So we'll go ahead and get going here. The lineups should already be fairly familiar to everybody since Earle has played game 1. So we're going to go straight into game 2. Starting pitchers for the Yankees is Marv Brewer. And starting pitcher for the White Sox is Thornton Lee. These are the as-played lineups from that date. So first up is Billy Knickerbocker, the second baseman. He'll be facing Marv Brewer, righty against righty. And the first pitch is a 6-7. So off of Brewer's card, a 6-7 is a split chance. 1-2 is a double. 3-20 is a single. So we'll roll the D20. We get a 6. So that is a single. So Knickerbocker gets a leadoff single to start the ball game. And that'll take us to number 2 hitter Luke Appling, the shortstop. Appling, a 5-4. 5-4 off of Brewer is a strikeout. I'm sorry, no, 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. I was looking at 5-5. Ground ball third base X. Third baseman for the Yankees is Rolfe. He is a 2 at the E27. A 2 with an E27. So we'll roll the D20. And we get a 4. A 4. So a third baseman rated 2 with a number 4 is a ground ball C, which means the runner will advance. So Appling is out 5-3. But Knickerbocker does advance to second base. So 1 out for Joe Kuhl. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's K-U-H-E-L. I don't know if it's Kuhel or Cool, but it just sounds, pardon the pun, it just sounds more cool to call him Cool. 6-5. 6-5. Cool is a lefty. So 6-5 is going to be a fly ball center field B. That'll be out number 2 as DiMaggio makes the play. 2 down for Taffy Wright. Taffy Wright. Taffy Wright, a 2-10. 2-10 against a righty. 2-10 is a ground ball shortstop A. And that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the White Sox here in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. White Sox nothing, Yankees coming to bat. All right, Thornton Lee is the starting pitcher. He'll be facing Frenchie Bordigeri. I guess that's how it's pronounced. 5-8. Bordigeri is a righty. Thornton Lee is a lefty. 5-8. 5-8 is a ground ball second base X. The second baseman for the White Sox is Knickerbocker. He's a 3 with an E27. So a second baseman number 3. It's a 17. Second baseman 3-17 is a ground ball out. So 1 away is Bordigeri is retired. And that'll bring up Red Rolfe, the third baseman. Red Rolfe, lefty on lefty. It's a 2-8. 2-8. 2-8's a pop out to first. So Red Rolfe popped it up the first base line, and it was handled easily by Mr. Cool over there. He kept his cool while he was making that play. Here's Charlie Keller, the lefty, left fielder. 2 outs, base is empty. It's a 1-6. 1-6 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Keller down on strikes. And the Yankees are gone in order, 1, 2, 3. We've completed 1 inning of play here at Yankee Stadium. It's the White Sox nothing and the Yankees nothing. Top of the second, and it'll be third baseman Darrow Lodigiani stepping to the plate. Righty on righty against Brewer. It's a 3-9. 3-9 is going to be a single. So it's a leadoff single for Lodigiani. Another leadoff single for the White Sox as they get the second inning going with the base hit. And if I can get the cards apart, we'll get to the next batter. And that being Mike Krivich. Mike Krivich, the center fielder. Krivich, a righty. So another righty on righty. And we get a 5-7. 5-7 off of Brewer is a strikeout. 5-7 is a strikeout. So Brewer comes back to strike out Krivich, and that brings up Merrill Hogue. Merrill Hogue. 5-5. Hogue is a righty, so 5-5 is another strikeout. So Brewer back-to-back Ks. 2 outs for Mike Tresh, the catcher. Number 8 hitter in the lineup, 6'8". 6'8", Tresh is a righty. 6'8" is a ground ball second base X. Second baseman for the Yankees is Joe Gordon. He's a 1 with a 39. So assuming he will make the play. It's a 19. He does make the play. And a 19 on a 1 is actually a ground ball A, so it's technically a fielder's choice. So they'll retire Loaded Gianni 4-6 the short way to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the second. We are still scoreless. And the man of the hour, man of the video, what do you want to call him, Joe DiMaggio will be leading things off. DiMaggio, Gordon, and Rosard leading off against Thornton Lee. 6'5", rather. 6'5" against a righty. 6'5" is a potential home run. 1-6 will be a homer. 7-20 will be a double, so the hitting streak is going to stay intact right away. It's a 19, so it's a double, but DiMaggio puts the anticipation of possibly losing the streak out of everyone's mind right away. Hitting his first at bat is a double, and the streak will continue. 6'4", for Gordon against Lee, the lefty. Gordon's a righty. 6'4" against a righty batter. 6'4" against a righty batter is a ground ball third base B. So ground ball to third, and DiMaggio will have to hold. So he stays there, 1 away for Buddy Rosar. Rosar a 6'2". 6'2" is a walk. So he walks Rosar. And that brings up the shortstop, Frank Crissetti. Phil Rizzuto got the day off. Crissetti, 4'3". Fly ball right field X. The right fielder for the White Sox is Taffy Wright. He's a 3. And he rolled a 20, so that's going to be an out. So the 20 on a right fielder, a number 3 rated right fielder. A 20 is a fly ball B. Fly ball B, but the runner's only on second, not on third. So it's simply just a fly to right. DiMaggio's not going to try to go anywhere. Out number 2 brings up Johnny Sturm, the first baseman. Johnny Sturm, 2 on, 2 out. 5'7". This is a lefty on lefty matchup. 5'7". He found his hit spot right here. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single star. It is an 18, so that is a single star. DiMaggio will score. Rosar will go to third on the RBI single by Johnny Sturm. Yankees lead it 1-0. Now, Marv Brewer will be batting off pitcher hitting card number 1. It's a 6'8". 6'8" is going to be a walk. How about that? He walked the pitcher. 6'8" is a walk to the pitcher, and it loads the bases. So the bases are now loaded with 2 outs. And we're back to the top of the order, and Frenchie, well, pronounce it right, Frenchie Bordagheri, bases loaded and 2 outs. It's a 4-3. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. Taffy Wright will get another chance. He again is a 3 rated right fielder. It's a 13. Could be an error check. We'll see. 3 rated right fielder. A 13 is an error check. Taffy Wright is an E10. All right, he's an E10. So we'll see what happens here on the E10 check. We get a 7. E10, 7 is a 2-base error. 2-base error on Taffy Wright. 2-base error. So an E9, 2-base error, and that will score Rosar and Sturm to make it a 3-0 ball game. The pitcher Brewer will move to third. Those runs are unearned. So I have them marked with a little U in here to remind me that they're unearned. But it's 3-0 Yankees, and Red Rolfe looking to continue. We got a 3-7. 3-7 for Red Rolfe against a lefty is a strikeout. So that ends the inning, but 8 Yankees come to the plate. 3 of them score. 2 of them thanks to the error on Taffy Wright. So after 2 complete is the Yankees 3 and the White Sox nothing. All right, Thornton Lee is going to lead, the pitcher is going to lead off the top of the third. He's hitting off pitcher hitting card. It should say number 4, because Thornton Lee does hit off pitcher hitting card number 4. So we'll be using pitcher hitting card number 4. He was a decent hitter, apparently. This is Thornton Lee, lefty against the righty Brewer. 4-4, 4-4. Ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be Cressetti. Cressetti is a 1-rated shortstop, but an E48. It's a 2. It's a 2 on a 1-rated shortstop. A 2 is a ground ball A, so he made the play. Cressetti, 6-3 ground out. And out goes the pitcher, Thornton Lee. So we're back to the top of the order for Billy Knickerbocker. Billy Knickerbocker. And Knickerbocker, it's a 5-5 for Knickerbocker. 5-5. Knickerbocker is a righty. 5-5 is a strikeout. So Knickerbocker out on strikes for out number 2. Brings up the shortstop Luke Appling. Appling a 2-6. 2-6 is a base hit. 2-6 is a single for Luke Appling. So a 2-out single, and then we got to our friend Joe Cool again. 111, potential home run. We're not going to use the ballpark effects. We're just going to go by these numbers. So a 1 to 10 on the D20, and he'll have himself a 2-run homer. He does not. 17, so that means it's a fly ball left field to end the inning. So Joe Cool couldn't quite get it out there far enough to get over the fence. It was easily handled by Charlie Keller in left, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the third, and Charlie Keller will be stepping in against Thornton Lee. Thornton Lee trying to recover from that 3-run inning he just gave up. It'll be Charlie Keller to lead things off. 5-7, lefty on lefty, 5-7. He found his hit again. Column 5, that's the bad spot, 5-7. So a 1 to 2 is a triple. Anything else is a single. And it is a single. So Charlie Keller with a base hit. And Mr. Lee may not be around long. Here's Joe DiMaggio. Doubled his first time up. Doubled and scored. It's a 2-8. 2-8 for DiMaggio against a righty. I'm sorry, against a lefty. 2-8 is a fly ball center. So DiMaggio, fly ball to center field. Brings up Joe Gordon. Gordon, a 6-11. 6-11 is a fly ball left field X. The left fielder is Hogue, and Hogue is a 3 with an error rating of 16. 3-13 means we're looking, if it's a 13, that means we're in the error range. So we're looking at E16 and E16 for Hogue. And we get a 6. E16 and a 6 is a 2-base error. 2-base error on Hogue. So the White Sox continue to have fielding woes. A 2-base error on the left fielder Hogue. That is, we had an error on the right fielder, and now there's an error on the left fielder. Puts runners at second and third with 1 out for catcher Buddy Rosar. Rosar, 1-5. 1-5 against a lefty pitcher is a walk. So Rosar draws a walk, and that loads the bases for Frank Cressetti. Bases loaded, 1 out. Cressetti, a 1-8. 1-8 is a fly ball center field B with a question mark. Now, Keller, let's check his running quality. Keller is a 15, so that's pretty good running speed. The left fielder in this case is Hogue, and Hogue is a -2 arm, so that's a pretty good arm. So the Yankees are going to play it safe and not send him. So that's out number 2. They're going to see if they can't depend on Johnny Sturm to drive home the runs here. So Johnny Sturm, 2 outs, and the base is loaded. It's a 5-8. 5-8 against a lefty is a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Knickerbocker, who's a 3. And it's a 15, so I think he's going to make the play. Second baseman, number 3. And a 15 is a ground ball C. He did make the play, and the inning is over, so maybe they should have sent or taken the shot on sending Keller, but they didn't. No runs will come across the plate. We've played 3 complete at Yankee Stadium. It's the Yankees 3 and the White Sox nothing. All right, Taffy Wright's going to lead things off for the White Sox. He grounded short his first time up. Lefty on righty matchup, I should say. 3-4. 3-4 is a fly ball, left field B. So Keller will again make the play, 1 away. For Dario Lodigiani, he singled his first time up. 5-2, righty on righty matchup as a ground ball to first base X. That's Johnny Sturm. Sturm is a 2 with an error rating of 15. Check the 2, it's a 1, so that's problematic here. When you roll a 1 like that, that's going to be a single with 1 star. So it's a base hit, again, for Lodigiani. Sneaking one just past Johnny Sturm. 1 out, 1 on for Mike Krivich, the catcher. I'm sorry, the center fielder. Righty on righty matchup, 2-4. 2-4 is a walk. He found the walk. Column 2, everything was an out except for this 2-4 result, which was a walk. So Krivich walks. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out for Merrill Hogue, trying to atone for that error. We get a 5-5, and that's a strikeout. So he did not atone for it. He struck out. Second out of the inning. He struck out twice today. He's had a bad game. 2 strikeouts and a 2-base error. All right, now the catcher, Mike Tresh, is up. Tresh, 5-5. 5-5 is another strikeout. So Brewer has the K going in this game. So he gets the strikeout there. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still Yankees 3 and the White Sox nothing. All right, pitcher Marv Brewer is going to lead off. Again, hitting off pitcher hitting card number 1. But we're off the batter card, the pitcher card anyway, so it doesn't really matter at this point. It's a 4-5, and a 4-5 is a ground ball third base B. So a 5-3 ground out for the pitcher, and that brings up Frenchie, our buddy Frenchie Bordigari, I think is how we pronounced it. Frenchie Bordigari, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7. He's got a chance here. 1 is a triple, anything else is a single. So he's going to get a base hit, just a matter of what kind. It's an 8, so that is a single. So Bordigari got his first base hit of the game for him, and that's Red Rolfe coming up, 0 for 2. Red Rolfe, 4-9. Against the lefty, 4-9's ground ball shortstop X. The shortstop is Appling. He's a number 2. Number 2 rated shortstop, it's a 4. 2 rated shortstop with a 4 is a ground ball C. So he'll make the play, but the runner will advance. It's a 6-3 ground out. Bordigari will move to second base. And that brings up Charlie Keller. Singled his last time up. Lefty on lefty matchup with DiMaggio on deck. 6-10. 6-10's a fly ball center field X. A lot of X results on these older sets apparently. So we've got a fly ball center field X. Center fielder in this case is Krivich. He's a 2 with a 3 error rating. So pretty good fielder. Rolled a 15. Center fielder 15. I think he's going to be okay on this as a 2 rated center fielder. 15's a fly ball C, and the inning is over. So Krivich handles that no problem. Inning's over. We've completed 4 from Yankee Stadium. It's still Yankees 3 and the White Sox nothing. Pitcher Thornton Lee is going to lead things off. Start the top of the 5th. 6-10. 6-10. 6-10 is a catcher X. Catcher X. And the catcher for the Yankees, Rosar, is a 4. With nobody on base, it probably won't hurt him. 15. 4-15 is a pass ball and a foul out, but since nobody was on base, it's simply a foul out. And we have 1 away. So that defensive rating did not hurt him since the bases were empty. All right, that brings up Billy Knickerbocker. Back to the top of the order, 2-6. 2-6 against the righty is a potential home run. 1-8 for a homer, 9-20 for a double. So 1-8 for a homer. It's a 17, so it'll be a double. A double for Knickerbocker. So a one-out double for Knickerbocker brings up Luke Appling. Appling, a 1-5 is a walk. 1-5 is a walk. So Appling will draw the walk. And with one out, the White Sox have something going here. And we have Mr. Joe Cool stepping to the plate. He hasn't kept his cool yet. He's 0 for 2. It's a 2-4. 2-4. And he's going to hit a ground ball pitcher B because we're not using the ballpark effects. It's simply a ground ball pitcher B. So Brewer will field it, throw to second to get Appling coming in to get the force play there. And let's see here, or does he throw to third? Let me see how they rule this here. Run on first is out. Yep, it's the force play, run on first is out. So the run on second goes to third. And Cool reaches on the fielder's choice, but now there are 2 outs with runners at the corners for Taffy Wright. Still representing the tying run. Wright, a 5-8. Lefty batter, 5-8. He found a base hit here. Could be damage. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else is a single star. It's a 13, it's a single star, but the star will score Knickerbocker. Actually, 1 star would have scored Knickerbocker. And it will move Mr. Cool to third base. So a run is in. Runner's still at the corners with 2 outs for Dario Lodigiani, and he's 2 for 2. Lodigiani's a 2-4. 2-4, he will ground to third to end the inning. But the White Sox do at least break up the shutout. They put run 1 across the board. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, it is the Yankees 3 and the White Sox 1. Bottom of the 5th, and Joe DiMaggio is up. He is doubled and flied to center, so the hitting streak is still intact, 2 games short as it is. 4-10. 4-10 off of the pitcher Thornton Lee. 4-10. Ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop, once again, is Appling, who is a 1. I'm sorry, he's a 2 rated shortstop. It's a 13. It's going to probably be an error check, which will not be a good thing for Appling because he's an E42. So 13, take it back. He did make it. 13, number 2, is a ground ball B, so he just did make it. So saved him an error for sure as he retires DiMaggio. Here's Joe Gordon, second baseman. 0 for 2. He's grounded third and reached on a 2-base error. 6-10. 6-10. Fly ball center field X. That's going to be Krivich, who's a 2. And that's a 6. A 2 and a 6 as a center fielder. A 2 and a 6 is a fly ball B. So Krivich makes the play. 2 away for Buddy Rosar. Rosar is a 1-2. 1-2 against the lefty as a ground ball second base C. The inning is over. So 5 in a row now retired by Thornton Lee as he's kind of recovered a little bit from that second inning fiasco. And at the end of 5 complete, we've got the Yankees 3 and the White Sox 1. All right, we're ready for the top of the 6th. Leading off will be the center fielder Mike Krivich. It's a 6-9 Krivich, a right-hander against the right-hander Brewer. 6-9. Fly ball right field B. So play made easily out there by Mr. Bordigeri for 1 away. And that will bring up Mr. Hogue, Merrill Hogue, left fielder. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, and he's also made an error. Not been his day. 2-4, 2-4. See if he can change it up. Nope. He had a lot of hits in his column 2, but he found the ground ball second base A. So Hogue now 0 for 3 for the second out of the inning, and Mike Tresh, the catcher. 2 outs and bases empty. And we have a 2-11. A 2-11 is a foul out to the third baseman, Red Rolfe. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the White Sox here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still Yankees 3 and the White Sox 1. Frank Crissetti will lead off the bottom of the 6th against Thornton Lee. This could be Lee's last inning because he leads off the top of the 7th. And they're down 3-1, so they might need some offense here. Crissetti, 5-7. Lee's a lefty, Crissetti's a righty, 5-7 on the right. He found that spot again. His column 5 has a lot of outs, but number 7 does not. 1 is a triple, 2-20 is a single. And it's a 5, so it's a single, leadoff single for Crissetti. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Johnny Sturm, first baseman. Sturm, a 1-6 against a lefty. 1-6 is a fly ball to center field. 1 away. Brings up Brewer. Now, he could bunt. He's a bunting C, so with the infield looking for that, that'll change him to a bunting D. So we'll do a bunting D here on the advanced chart. With a 4 on a bunting D, batter is thrown up by pitcher, runners advance 1 base. So the sacrifice is complete and successful. We'll call it 1-4. Crissetti will go to second. So now he is in scoring position with 2 outs for the top of the order, and Frenchie Bordagheri. 6-9 against Lee, the right-hander against Lee. 6-9's a strikeout because Lee's point of weakness is only at number 9, and we're only in the 6th inning, so that strikeout is definitely a good one. And Bordagheri is out of there. So 6 complete in the books, and it's the Yankees 3 and the White Sox 1. We're right back with a White Sox pinch hitter and the bullpen for the White Sox. Top of the 7th, and the pinch hitter is going to be Moose Salters. He will pinch hit for the pitcher Lee. And the new pitcher coming in for the White Sox in the 7th will be right-hander John Humphreys. But right now, first things first, Moose Salters with his pinch hitting performance. He gets a 6-8. 6-8 is going to be a pop out to the I'm looking at Humphreys. I should have been looking at Brewer. 6-8 is going to be a ground ball second base X. The second baseman is Gordon. He's a 1 and a 39. Results of 16. That's a good play for 3 putout. And the pinch hitter, Moose Salters, is out. That'll bring up Billy Knickerbocker. Billy Knickerbocker, the leadoff hitter. And Knickerbocker has had himself quite a day. He singled, doubled, and struck out. Did score the lone run. It's a 5-10. 5-10 is a fly ball to center field because, again, we're not using the ballpark effects. It's simply a fly to center for out number 2. And that will send us to the number 2 hitter, Luke Appling, the shortstop. 2 outs, base is empty for Appling. We get a 3-5. 3-5 for Appling. It's a ground ball second base C. So 4-3 ground out that Gordon handles easily. We've got 7th inning stretch time here at Yankee Stadium. The score is Yankees 3, White Sox 1. All right, bottom of the 7th, and before we move on to the new pitcher Humphreys, we'll get the final line on Mr. Lee. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 was earned. Remember, they had the 2 errors in the game. Walked 3, struck out 3. So Humphreys, the right-hander, will be facing the lefty Rolfe, then he'll be followed by lefty Keller and righty DiMaggio. So here's Rolfe to lead things off. It's a 5-8. Humphreys against a left-hander, 5-8. Ground ball second base X. The second baseman for the White Sox is Mr. Knickerbocker. He's a 3. And it's a 12. That's probably an error check. A 12 on a second baseman most likely is an error check, and it is. So his error rating is a 27. E27. We roll a 7 on an E27. E27, a 7 is a 1-base error, and that is error number 3 in the game on the White Sox, E4. So Rolfe is aboard, brings up Charlie Keller. Keller, a 6-6 against Humphrey. 6-6 is a ground ball first base B, so they do get the fielder's choice on a 3-6 ground out. Keller will reach as Rolfe is retired, 3-6. And here's DiMaggio, his first at bat against the righty John Humphreys. It's a 4-2. 4-2 is a fly ball to center field. So out number 2 there. So DiMaggio, good thing he got his hit in the first at bat because he's gone 0 for 3 since. Here's Joe Gordon. And he probably would not get another at bat as long as the Yankees hold the lead. 5-8. 5-8 for Gordon. Ground ball second base X. That's Mr. Knickerbocker again. Can he make the play this time? 17, he does make the play, and the inning is over. So we go to the 8th. Still a 3-1 ball game. Yankees leading the White Sox. All right, Marv Brewer is going to continue into the 8th. His point of weakness was actually last inning, the 7th. But since he had a 1-2-3 inning, he still has his full complement of 3 events, be they hits or unintentional walks, before he becomes his point of weakness. Joe Cool, Mr. Cool, probably his last at bat. He's 0 for 3. 3-5. 3-5 for Cool against the right-hander is a strikeout. So not cool there for Mr. Cool. He strikes out. That'll bring up Taffy Wright. Taffy Wright is 1 for 3 with a single. That's a 5-2. Wright's a lefty. 5-2 is a ground ball first base X. That's Johnny Sturm. And Sturm is a 2 and a 15. 2 with an error rating of 15. That's a 3. Might be a base hit. 2, a 3. Nope, it's a ground ball C. He just did make the play. So Sturm just barely able to grab it. And there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down for Dario Lodigiani. He's got 2 hits today. Lodigiani is 6'11". 6'11 is a ground ball, third base B. Red Rolf makes the play. Innings over. And Mr. Brewer has pitched 8 solid innings as the Yankees hold a 3-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, Johnny Murphy is loosening the Yankee bullpen. He is their closer. So he may come in and pitch the 9th. Brewer, the pitcher, is scheduled to bat 4th this inning. So they'll definitely get a pinch hitter if his time at bat comes up. But right now it's Buddy Rosar. He's 0 for 1. He's walked twice. Rosar, a 5-7. 5-7 is a ground ball to short. So Rosar is out of there as he grounds to Appling for 1 away. And that brings up Frank Crissetti. Crissetti, a 1-7. 1-7 for Crissetti is a fly ball to center field. 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down. Humphreys having no problem with the Yankees here in the 7th and now the 8th. Here's Johnny Sturm, number 8 hitter. Sturm, a 5-10. 5-10 as a lefty is a fly ball right field. So that's going to end the inning. The inning is over. So Sturm does not do anything. Neither do the Yankees. We go to the 9th. Last chance for the White Sox. It's Yankees 3 and the White Sox 1. And we'll be right back with the new pitcher, the closer, Johnny Murphy. All right, we closed the book on Brewer. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run. Walked 2, struck out 6. And Johnny Murphy, the closer, is in on the season in 1941. He did have 15 saves. So he's going to be in there, and he'll be facing the bottom portion of the order. Krivich, Hogue, and Tresh. And if anybody gets on, the pitcher spot will come up, and we'll get a pinch hitter. But right now, it is Mike Krivich. He is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. 6-10. 6-10 off Johnny Murphy. He's a ground ball shortstop X. That is going to be Mr. Crissetti. He's a 1 with a 48. And it's a 13, so I think he's going to get it. 13, a 1, shortstop 1, 13 is a ground ball A. So Crissetti makes the play. And the Yankees are 2 outs away from holding this one down. Here is Merrill Hogue. Hogue, a 2-11. 2-11 for Hogue is going to be a single. So Hogue says, not so fast. We're still batting here. He gets his single. That brings up the catcher, Mike Tresh, and then a pinch hitter will be coming up next, assuming there is no double play. So here's Tresh to 6-10. 6-10, ground ball shortstop X again. And that is Crissetti. He's a 1. And it's a 20. Could be the double play they're looking for, and it sure is. Ground ball A. So the game is over. A 6-4-3 double play. 6-4-3 double play will take care of it. And the ball game is over thanks to Johnny Murphy wrapping it up for the Yankees. So that's the second game of the streak. And like I said, DiMaggio, it's a good thing he got the double in the first at-bat because the last 3 at-bats he made an out. Be right back to wrap things up and provide the totals and set things up for Earle in game number 3, the last in the series against the White Sox. All right, we're ready to wrap this up. For the Yankees, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 8 on base. For the White Sox, 1 run, 7 hits, 3 errors, and they left 7 on. Winning pitcher was Brewer. He pitched 8 innings, gave up 6 hits and the 1 run, walked 2, struck out 6. Losing pitcher was Lee, Thornton Lee. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. Only one of them earned, though. Walked 3, struck out 3. And then Humphreys pitched 2 solid innings. The only thing he gave up was an error by Knickerbocker, the second baseman, so otherwise he was perfect. And then Johnny Murphy pitched the 9th, gave up the 1 single to Hogue, but then got the inning double play off of Tresh, and that finishes the ball game. So that's DiMaggio streak game number 2, played May 16th, 1941. DiMaggio got his double in the second inning, his first at bat. It's a good thing because he was 0 for 3 otherwise. So the streak will continue on a 1 for 4 performance. And we'll be interesting to see if he can continue that in game 3 as Earle takes back over in the final game of the 3-game series against the White Sox. If Earle's game turns out that DiMaggio gets his streak and keeps it going, then I'll take over game 4, and that will be a new opponent. It'll be the St. Louis Browns. We'll be coming into the Yankee Stadium, so we'll get ready for that. But for now, hope everybody has a wonderful time doing whatever game you're playing, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this little project here of the DiMaggio streak, especially a joint venture like this. So in the spirit of Earle, I will wish everybody a wonderful day, and God bless.